Discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Fat Nass Nerd Run-Throughs, and this time we're going to be doing a how to play for Alien Frontiers, the 5th edition. So, I'm probably a little late to the game, there's probably a bunch of how to plays out there, but hopefully this one's different enough from the rest of them that this video is valid. So as usual, we're going to go into how you set up the game, and then into how to play the game, and then that'll be it. So let's get to the setup. Okay, so obviously the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take the board and you're going to place it in the center of the play area next to where everyone can reach it. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take this scoreboard. Hey, that's actually not a glare, that's in the thing. Yay! This is the score sheet. You're going to take that and you're going to place it off over to the side. You can place it over here or up top, pretty much anywhere that's comfortable. And what you will do with that is you will actually take the score markers for each color. We'll just say it's a two-player game just for simplicity. And we'll say it is both the green and blue. You will take these little rocket ships and you will place them on the 0 spots, right there. So, right there, right on the 0. Anyway, and then that's pretty much that for the scoring part. So that's a two-player game. Then what you can do, and this is really in no particular order for setup wise, but I mean it's pretty much it's not going to change anything. Then what you will do is you will grab the ore cubes and you're going to place them down right here under the lunar mine up on the actual moon. I think it's kind of cool that for setup they put the like a little spot to put those kind of cubes. So you will take those and then you will take the fuel icons, which are the yellow, or I guess orange disc, and you'll place them up here up at the top where the sun is. Now there's not as much room here, but these are stackable if you want to stack them, but they'll go on the sun location. Then what you will do is you will take the tokens that, I guess they're not really tokens, they're more like tiles. You'll take these tiles and you will place them on the planet that match its icon. So like the Heinlein plains, you will find that spot and you'll just place them on that. Then the Burroughs Desert, you'll place kind of like that. Then you got Herbert Valley, which is there. Bradbury Plateau, which is down there. And don't worry about covering up the words or the icons because they're also on the tiles. Then you got Pole Foothills, the Asimov Crater, and then the Van Vogt Mountains. So you have that. Then what else you will do is you will take the relic die and you will place that right in the middle where the Burroughs Desert is. Okay, so next what you will do is you will decide to either use the tokens for the different field generators or spaces, or you can use the miniatures. What the tokens do is they're not aesthetically pleasing, but they'll actually tell you what they do on the back, whereas the miniatures do not. So it's completely up to you. And then what you'll do with that, you'll kind of place them over to the side of the board, that just so it doesn't get in the way of anyone. Okay, so those will go off to the side, they'll come into use later. Then what you will do is you will take, let's see, what colors did I choose? Okay, orange and, not orange, wow, blue and green. So, you will give each player 3 dice, which represents their ship, and you'll just give them to wherever they're sitting, and so that's for each person. So in the 2-player game, I chose blue and green. And then what you will do is you will take the remaining 3 dice that they have, and you will place them actually over by the shipyard off. So the shipyard's right here. You will actually place them over to the side, kind of like that, and just this easy access. It reminds you kind of what the shipyard does. So you'll place them over there, right next to that, and then you will take, depending on the number of players, they will get a certain number of colonies. And in a 2-player game, they will actually get all 8. So these are what the colonies are. So yeah, obviously matching their color. So the green player would get all 8 of his, and the blue player would get all 8 of his. And you'll kind of just place them over where they're sitting. The last thing you will do is you will take the alien tech deck and you will shuffle it thoroughly, very thoroughly, because there's doubles of each card, and they come, doubles together. So once you shuffle it thoroughly, you will deal each person one face up, and then you will take up at the top. Up at the corner there is a spot that says alien artifacts. That's where the alien tech deck will go. And what you will do is you will take 3 cards and you will put them face up right above the alien artifacts, and then you will take the deck and you'll kind of just place it right on top like so. So that is everything you do to set up a game of Alien Frontiers. Okay, now we're going to go on to how to play this game. This is a little bit difficult to do because the actual round and how you play this game is very, very simple. It's the different areas that you can go to. Alien Frontiers is actually a dice worker placement game, which means that your dice are how you do your actions. Every turn you will roll and do all that stuff. So what I'm going to do is explain each individual location and how it works, and also explain how the round works, and then kind of give examples of each area to show what you can do on your turn. The point of the game is to get all of your colonies onto the planet, and then the first person to get rid of all of them will end the game, and then you will see who has the most points. Most points is the best alien frontiersman and wins the game. So let's go to how to play. Okay, so how you play Alien Frontiers is incredibly simple. On your turn, you will gather all your ships, which are your dice. So at the beginning of the game, everyone will start with 3 dice and potential to get more from the shipyard. But what you will do is you will gather them from all the previous spaces that they've been at, and then you will roll them. So, yeah, I rolled. And these results basically tell you what you can do. Now, instead of trying to assign these dice and, give half of an example of what each space can, I'm actually going to go one by one and explain what each space does and give an example of how you would effectively use your dice to do so. So we're going to start down here at the Colonist hub, and we're basically just going to make our way all the way around. So let's go to the Colonist hub. Alright, so the Colonist hub is actually one way that you can get colonies onto, I'm going to say Mars. It's not Mars, but onto the planet. There we go. So what you will do is after you roll, you can put any number, any result of dice, and essentially up to the number of squares that are available. And that's how you can slowly build a colony and then put it on the planet. So an example of that is, and it depends on the number of players as well. So in a 2-player game, you can only use the top 2. Makes sense. In a 3-player game, you have this section available. In a 4, you have all 4. So what you could do with your 3 is you can actually place all 3 of yours onto a spot. It does not matter what the result is. They don't have to be in any order. So you can just place up to 3 there. Then you would take one of your colonies. Woo, I forgot I was zoomed in. You can take one of your colonies, and from the first one, you would place it on the first circle, so like that. Then for each other one you do, it moves it up one more. So if you spent your entire turn, you would actually get a colony up to space 3. Now, whenever you do an action, you will actually keep your dice there, because at the very beginning of your turn, you collect all your dice, so they stay there. Now this doesn't matter for the Colonist hub, because you cannot move down there and start a second one. You are actually not allowed to build multiple colonies at once from the Colonist hub. So, I couldn't, come here next turn, put 3 here, and then start building another one. You have to finish, a colony. So let's say it's been multiple turns, I get all 3, and then I move another one, and it gets to this final spot. So it's going to take 7 dice to actually move a colony all the way to the end. Now, what this does is that once it gets here, you can actually immediately spend 1 fuel, which is the discs, and 1 ore. And once you spend those, and it actually says it right there, they just go back to the supply, and you can actually place this onto the planet. And they can go anywhere, and once you once you decide, each spot has its own abilities. I'm just going to place it, on a random spot. Once you do that, if you're the first one there on that planet, you actually have control. Now, this is a, victory point heavy game. So each colony that you build gives you a victory point. And so you just kind of move your spaceship up 1 because green has built a colony. You also get an additional victory point if you control that area. So since green now actually controls the Herbert Valley, that they would get an additional victory point. So like right now you have green at 2 after doing all those actions, and blue at 0. So once a person actually has control over a colony, they get that ability. And so this one is pay 1 fuel and 1 ore less than normal when you use the shipyard. Whoops. So they have that would go over in their play area. And right now, green has control of the Herbert Valley. Yay! Now as soon as someone else builds a colony, they could easily go there, and that would actually take the ability away. It would go back, and that would cause, blue to go up 1, but green to go down because they no longer control that area. So that is kind of how, colonizing on that works, and how the Colonist hub works, with a little bit of the points explanation as well. So that is the Colonist hub. Alright, the next spot you can go to is actually the shipyard. This is the place you will go to if you need more ships, which, trust me, you will. So the shipyard actions, and the game does a really good job, the board does a really good job of explaining kind of how it works. The shipyard means you have to have 2 dice of identical results to go there. So earlier I actually rolled 2 3s and a 1, so I could go there. And to build a 4th ship, you need to have a fuel, and you need to have an ore in your disposal to get rid of. So once you go there, identical icons. It doesn't have to be 3s. It can be 2 1s, 2 2s, yada yada. You then spend the resources to actually take a ship from over here in the supply and place it up in the maintenance bay. That is to get your 4th ship. To get your 5th ship, you would need 2 fuel and 2 ore, and then you would get your 5th ship. And it doesn't matter, because if you had all this, you couldn't build them all. You can only build 1 ship. So then if you have all 5 ships, to build your 6th ship, you would need to get rid of 3 fuel and 3 ore to place your 6th ship. Then when it comes to your turn again, you will pull all of these dice back, including ones in the maintenance bay, and now you have 4, 5, or 6 ships. That is what the shipyard does. The maintenance bay does nothing. It is actually a place that if you could not legally go anywhere, all your remaining ships will go there. If you build a ship from the shipyard, it will go there. And other abilities will cause dice to go there. But once again, you do not willingly place your ships into the maintenance bay. It's just there for a storage spot. The terraforming station is actually a spot that you can go to if you have a 6. Now, there are a few caveats with the terraforming station. 1, you cannot go there if you only have 3 ships, and here's the reason why. So earlier, I built 4 ships. I have 4 ships. Yay. That means I could go if I roll a 6. Let's say I did. On my turn, I can place a die there, and then because it's a 6, I can spend 1 fuel and 1 ore to immediately place a colony onto the planet. And you follow the same rules. Every colony you build is worth a point, and if you control the area, it's an additional point, and you get the area's ability. So the terraforming station only allows 1 person with a 6 to go there, spend the resources to immediately place a colony. What this means, and that may be like, oh, well, that's easy. The reason why you cannot go there if you only have 3 ships is because the terraforming station will destroy that ship or that die. So on your next turn, when you go to retrieve all your dice, you will actually put the, you will actually put that die back into the supply over by the shipyard. So you now have less actions to do or less options, but you do have a colony out on the spot. So that is the terraforming station. The one right above that is the solar converter. And this spot allows up to 7, 8, and a 4-player game. That it all really just depends of what your roll is. If you rolled a 1, or if not, if you rolled a 1, if you put a 1 there, you will get one fuel, and that will go into your supply. If you place a 1 or 2, will get you 1. If you place a 3 or 4 there, you will get 2 fuel. And if you place a 5 or 6 there, you will get 3 fuel. So that is, the solar converter. And that's, so if I place like all those there, I would actually get 6 fuel all at once. And that's the solar converter. Okay, so the orbital market is a way for you to trade fuel into ore, because it's way easier to get solar fuel than it is to get ore. Now, kind of just like the shipyard, you have to put dice of equal value in that spot. In a 2-player game, that spot's the only one available. Now, when you do that, you can then spend fuel equal to the number of, of your dice there to get ore. Now, this is not an even trade, so it's not like if I spend 6 fuel, I get 6 ore. Now, that means you have to turn in 6 fuel to get 1 ore. You might be thinking, okay, well, why would I put 6s there? You wouldn't. What you would want to do is ideally get snake eyes and put them there, because now that means for every 1 fuel you turn in, you get 1 ore. And you can do this multiple times if you have the available trade. So now this would essentially be 1 for 1, meaning that if I had 4 fuel, I could spend, because it's 1 fuel to turn in, because I put 1s there, to get 1 ore. If I did another one, that'd be another ore. If I did another one, that'd be another ore. So I could spend all those to get 4 fuel. If it was, double 2s, I could turn in 2 to get 2 ore. If it was 3s, I can only turn in 3 to get 1 ore, and so on and so forth. That is how the orbital market works. Alien artifact space. Now there's 2 things you can do here. One, you can take any die result and place it there to completely wipe out the 3 options that are here. So those would get discarded, and then 3 more would actually come out. So you have those 3 available now. Or if you put any combination of dice, as long as it's equal to or greater than 8, you can take an alien artifact card. And there's a bunch of these that do specific things. So if I have a 6 and a 2, and I place those there, that would be 8. I can choose one that is available. So let's go through some of these if I can pick them up. So, some of the alien artifacts are like the plasma cannon, which says pay 1 fuel per ship to remove opponent ships from an orbital facility to the maintenance bay. So that's one way. So if I was blue and I had this card, I could pay a fuel to remove, one of these ships, and it would go to the maintenance bay. That doesn't stop them from getting their, action or ability, but it frees up spots for you to place your ships. Or you can take an alien monument, which as long as you have this, you get a victory point. Alien city, same thing. And there's a bunch in here that actually have an ore ability. And on your turn, you can do any alien artifact ability you have at your possession. So on your turn, I could spend a fuel to do the top ability, or I can discard this card to return 1 ship to the shipyard supply. So that is a way I can just destroy someone's ship. Any alien artifact that requires a payment of resources means you can only do it once per turn. So I cannot just, it's not like if I have 10 fuel, I can never, spend 10 and just return everyone's ships. It's a one and done kind of thing. So let's say green goes there and takes the alien artifact city, which means they would get 1 point as long as they have it. It would move up once on the victory track, and then you would replace that card with another one. So that is the alien artifact spot. All right, another spot you can go to is the Raiders Outpost. This one's a little bit different. You need a sequential set of numbers, meaning 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, and that's pretty much it because there's no 7. So if I rolled, let's just say a 1, 2, and a 3, I could place my 3 dice there, and I could choose someone or anyone and steal a total of 4 resources. It could be any combination, and it doesn't have to be from the same person, meaning I can steal 4 fuel from one person, or 4 ore, or 2 fuel from one person and 2 ore from another, or 2 fuel from one person, 2 fuel from another. Either or. The other thing you can do is you can steal 1 alien artifact card from a person. So that's ways you can make, you know, someone's ability that they got at the beginning of the game yours, or if you steal a card and it's a duplicate of a card that you have, that card actually gets removed. So you could just make it to where, hey, no one has this card. The thing about the Raiders Outpost is that it is not a kind of like first to go there gets it. If you have a higher sequence of numbers, meaning that, so 1, 2, and 3 is the lowest. So if I have a 2, or another player, if another player has a 2, 3, or 4, they can actually bump them out and send the other player's ships over to the maintenance bay. That means the Raiders can now do that one. If someone else, I'm going to use green because I don't have any other colors out. If someone has a 3, 4, and a 5, they can come in, bump theirs out, move them to the maintenance bay, and do the ability. So that is how the Raiders Outposts work. The Lunar Mine! The Lunar Mine is a little bit different as well. What you do there is, to place a cube, you have to place one that is equal to or higher than the dice before it. Meaning, if someone places a 1, and then once you go there, you take an ore, and it just goes in your, play area. But to place there, if someone puts a 1 there, that means anyone else can go. It can be a 1, it can be a 5. Let's just say someone goes there with a 5, then they get an ore. It's not, you don't get ore equal to the number result, you just get 1. But now that means is for someone else to go there, they are going to have to place either a 5 or a 6. So if someone wants to make life difficult, to go to the Lunar Mine, on their turn, they can place a single 6, take their ore, and now anyone else who wants to go there, they either have to have a 6, and that's it. Only a 6 can go there. So that is how the Lunar Mine space works. And the last space that you can go to, the Colony Constructor. If you roll triples, so you have to place 3 dice of similar results, so 666, 555, 444, 333, whatever. You can go there, and if you have 3 ore, you can spend those and just build a colony and place it anywhere up on the planet, just like you do at the Colonist hub, just like you do at the Terraforming station. There's 3 ways you can build colonies. One is a slow burn, which is the Colonist hub. 1 removes the ship, which is the Terraforming station. And 1 is based off luck of the draw and having the resources. So Colony Constructor, very simple. Roll 3 of the same result, go there, and then get rid of 3 ore, and then you can build a colony. And that is every single spot in Alien Frontiers. Now, one thing that I didn't mention is what these 3 things are. Those are kind of like, they're all different names. I don't remember what they are. But they each do different things, and alien techs allow you to put them onto the planet. What this one does, if you get I believe it is data mine card, it allows you to place it in a spot, and the person who controls that area, let's say green, and they place that one in there, green will get an extra point. Now that doesn't mean that green will get it permanently. If blue comes in and places more colonies in that spot, now blue will get the extra point. So The point track is fluctual. Fluctual? It fluctuates. So like it's not like a permanent point. If someone loses it, if like blue takes that spot over, then green will go down a point and blue will go up one. So it goes back and forth over on that track. What the orange one does is it basically takes that ability away. So zoom in a little bit. So right now, the Herbert Valley ability allows you to pay 1 fuel and 1 ore less at the shipyard. So let's say blue has it, they would have this token, and green places that in there. That means that, yeah, Herbert Valley blue has control of it, but they don't get that ability. So that's that. And finally, the purple one. The purple one means that colonies cannot be destroyed or removed from that spot. It's kind of a safe zone. So those are the 3 different types of fields that you could, field generators I think is what they're called. That's what those 3 do. And that is how you play Alien Frontiers. It was, like I said, it was a little bit difficult to do the how to play because I can't just keep rolling dice over and over and seeing what I get. So it was easier just to go around each spot. Now, one thing I did forget to mention is that at the very beginning of the game, during setup, the final step you do is each player will roll a die, and the highest person will be the first player, and the person after them will get a fuel. That's it in a 2-player game. Okay, in a 4-player game, the second person gets a free fuel, the third person gets a free ore, and the 4th person gets 1 of each. So that's during setup. Throughout the game, going into how to play, you can only have a total of 8 resources. That is not 8 fuel and 8 ore, it's 8 for both. So if you have more than 8, like total, you have to discard down. The other thing I really want to stress is that what you do on your turn. So on your turn, you will gather all your dice from the maintenance bay and from all the places you've gone on your turn. Then you roll all your dice and you play all your dice at once, and you immediately get the reaction. It's not a slow burn. It's not 1 dice at a time. It's not 1 spot at a time. So if you have all 6 dice, you will roll all 6, and you will do that. You will deal out all 6 ships. And what this does is that it actually will block certain actions from allowing people. The person after you, if you took all the spots at the shipyard in a 2-player game, they don't get to build a ship that turn unless they have abilities to move you out. Really wanted to stress that because I don't know if I came across like that at first. But other than that, that is how you play Alien Frontiers. I hope you enjoyed. If I made any mistakes in this how to play, let me know in the comments below, and I will like and love it so people will see it so they, don't, learn the game incorrectly. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you want to support us, you can go ahead and click that link to go to my Patreon account. If you have any suggestions, you can go ahead and click the link in the show notes below to go to my Board Game Geek list. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.